Okay, so I made 10K dropshipping at 18, and this is what's next for me, right? So I started dropshipping in January, and the time of this video is June, July, kind of in the mix, right? So, like I said, bro, I've been doing this for about 6 months now. I got my first sale in January, and I had my first somewhat winning product in February, and that product I did about like 1K with it, but that was a seasonal product, so I couldn't really keep it going long term. But over the course of a couple months, I've been learning. You feel me? I've been learning what I need to do, and end up hitting 10K, right? So right now I run two stores. All right, one store. I don't know the exact numbers on each, but overall we're doing about 2.3K in MRR, right? So that's monthly recurring revenue. That's how much money is coming into the store every single month off of subscriptions, not excluding like, or I mean, it is excluding actual new sales coming into the store. So it could do 2K, could do 3K, 4K, with the additional sales, but the actual revenue that's coming in from subscriptions is 2.3K, and combining the two stores that I run, right? Now, basically getting to the point where I was, up to then, right? I didn't, pay for any courses. I didn't pay for any sort of, crazy information. But right now, I think last month that was my first time actually getting into some sort of course or community, and it's solid. You feel me? But at the same time, like I said, it's not required to even get into dropshipping. Like I made my first like 9K off of just YouTube. You feel me? Like YouTube stuff I learned off of YouTube, right? And because like I said, like being in a course or like a paid community is good, but it's generally no point at all in buying one if you haven't started making money. I'm just keep it being like, if you're not making money already, there's no reason you should be paying for these high ticket courses when you feel me. Like it makes sense on paper, right? They're gonna teach you what you need to learn and stuff like that. But at the same time, this is just my mindset, right? I like to learn by trial and error, right? Obviously not everybody likes that, but say you have like 1K or 2K, instead of trying to spend that money on a course, you can really spend that money on testing products, just trying. You feel like you got to get your hands dirty, right? So instead of trying to go out, buy a course, buy this, buy that, try to speed it up, just work, bro. Just put in the work, just put in the reps, and use your money for the business. You feel me? Like it is good to get, like everybody promotes a lot of courses. I'm not going to diss it because I agree with it. You feel me? Like knowledge is good, right? But if you're in a position on paying for knowledge or paying to just try the business and just put in reps in the business, I would go for the reps. Like I would just get in the field. You know, like it's just simple as that, bro. But besides that, right? So like I said, what is next for me, right? So I hit 10K. Um, like I said, I have a decent amount in MRR, right? Um, but now for me, right? So getting to 10K, the biggest thing that you want to look at is profitability, right? That was one of the biggest things that I had trouble with, especially when I was beginning, is being profitable. And right now, one of my stores isn't profitable, but the other one is basically profitable. So like I said, I want to be overall profitable, right? That's the biggest thing. We're doing the business to make money, not to get the biggest amount of subscriptions. You feel me? Subscriptions are really good, right? My whole mindset in the beginning, right, was I'm just gonna get as many like subscriptions as I could on my stores, so that I can just pause ads for a bit, and then the subscriptions will hit, and then you feel me, we can get back in our profitability. But at the same time, there's no reason to dig myself in a deeper hole trying to get as many subscriptions as I can, because you know that's just not sustainable. You feel me? Especially for me because dropshipping is this is my main job, it's my main business. This is what I do, right? So there's no reason I should be unprofitable trying to build subscriptions for however long, just going and going and going and going, because I don't have any other money coming in from a job, right? I don't have the option to just relax. You feel me? Like I don't have that option. So I need to be able to continue to build my subscriptions while being profitable, So that's something that I'm working on. I'm trying to get better at it. And you feel me? Like I've been learning a lot of different skills, and I've been consuming a lot more in-depth YouTube videos, right? Because when I first started dropshipping, I started watching this is different dropshipping techniques. But at the end of the day, one of the biggest things I realized is that when it comes down to dropshipping or just e-commerce in general, it's deeper skills than the actual business, right? You gotta look at copywriting, you gotta look at marketing, You feel me? Like, you got to go in depth on the specific skills that you're using for the business in order to actually be successful, So, like I said, I was talking to a dude the other day, and actually, I was like, I just don't understand. Like, my ads are just they're just so iffy. And he said it just comes down to copyright. And if your copy sucks, then your ad's gonna suck, and you're not gonna make money. You feel like it's that simple, right? So that's one of the biggest things I'm trying to work on is actually learning the skill of copywriting, learning the skill of creating good ads, learning the skill of analyzing my ads, analyzing what is working, what's not working, and why. Like, this is so insane. Like, I just thought about this the other day, right? So I have this one store, right? I spent like maybe 3K on ads so far, just overall, right? And the store wasn't profitable, right? And it's just like, in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm gonna just pause running ads for this until I can figure something out, right? And I thought to myself, I was like, I have $3,000 worth of data for the store that I'm not doing nothing with. You feel me? There's no reason I should just be shooting up random shots when I have $3,000 worth of data sitting in my ad account. That's just stupid. You feel me? Like just generally, that's generally just stupid. I have $3,000 worth of data, because when you're paying for ads, you're paying for data, right? And a lot of people, they get that confused. They're like, oh, I'm paying for ads to get sales, and they're like, yes, that's good, but at the same time, at the end of the day, it is data. We look at your metrics, you look at your CPC, CTR, CPM, that's all data, right? And so in my case, like, I have $3,000 worth of data just sitting there, and I'm not doing nothing with it because, oh, it's not profitable. That's stupid. That's just dumb, bro. Like, I mean, you need to be able to analyze your data and then, make decisions based off of the data. And that's something I haven't been doing. So I guess I got to get back to that. You feel me? Because I think that's definitely going to help this brand, because the brand has potential, bro. Like I said, this one specific brand, I did like 4,000 in sales with this. So people want the product. It's just about getting it to the customer for as cheap as I can. Like when I mean like as cheap as I can, I mean like getting my CPC down, my CPMs, like getting those metrics down as much as I can to get them to the actual person I'm trying to sell to. You feel me? So that's a little bit on that, right? And then looking at the longer term, right? So looking at 20K, 30K, 40K, 50K. So what I'm gonna need to do to make that shift is, for one, I want to continue building subscriptions, because like I said, I don't know if you've seen any of my other videos, bro. Subscriptions is the future of the world, bro. I can literally, like I said, bro, I have 2.3K in monthly recurring revenue. I could do nothing. I could literally just sit on my butt all day and I'm making that much money per month. Literally doing nothing. Okay, I get this. Okay, I just send the product out. That's just a click of a button. You feel me? Like, that's nothing, bro. That's why, bro, I said, in order to hit these bigger numbers, you need to build that subscription. No, you don't need to, but in my case, I am going to build that up, right? So that's one of the biggest levers that I want to just buttons. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. That's the biggest thing that I need to work on in order to hit these bigger numbers, because that's the easiest way to just be chill, bro. Like, I have 10K in MR. Like, I can just sit back, relax. You feel me? Obviously, that's not a good thing, but hypothetically, I can do that, right? And that's when I want to get to, like, the point I want to get to. So, like I said, in due time, right? So, like, we're 6 months through the year. I'm predicting, this is just my prediction, right? So, by towards the end of the year, that's when the biggest jump is gonna happen. Because, like I said, I've been spending a lot of this year. I'm gonna continue spending a lot of this year learning and learning and learning. But when Q4 hits, oh my gosh, when Q4 hits, that right there, I'm gonna say it right now. I don't care what it is. Like I don't even care. When Q4 hits, that's gonna change my life. I'm just be completely honest, right? And the reason why I say that is because with all the things that I've been learning throughout this entire year, and all the tests, all the data, all the reps, everything is just gonna pay off in Q4, because that is when people buy the most. You gotta look at, you have Christmas, you have Christmas, you have I don't know if Valentine's Day is considered Q4. I'm not sure. You have Christmas, you have Black Friday, you have Cyber Monday, you got, I'm sure there's so many more, bro. But those are like the 4 biggest things I look at, right? I'm looking at Christmas, I'm looking at Black Friday, I'm looking at Cyber Monday, and then I'm looking at Valentine's Day. I'm pretty sure Valentine's Day is considered Q1, but you feel me? It's still in that same general, you feel me? That same general area, right? So, like I said, bro, you just gotta when towards the end of the year and towards the beginning of the year, that's when everything is really going to start paying off even more. But at the same time, you have to prepare yourself to even get there, right? I have to prepare myself to be ready, right? Like at the point I am now, I feel like yes, I'm gonna do good, but obviously there are more things I need to learn. So obviously, I'm learning, I'm going through the reps just to prepare myself, right? That's the big thing, right? I'm preparing for Q4 because Q4 is what's gonna change my life, right? So like I said, that's really what it is. I think, when we hit Q4, we're gonna hit those bigger 50K, 60K, you feel me, stuff like that, right? But yeah, that's the update for y'all. I mean, like I said, just continue working, continue building subscriptions. Yeah, bro. Like I said, it's been a really good journey, bro. Like a lot of ups, a lot of downs. Oh, okay. Oh, that was weird. But yeah, a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of crazy stuff going on. Like I said, I got my ad account banned when I first started. Came back from that. You feel me? It's a lot of stuff, bro. But like I said, at the end of the day, bro, at the end of the day, it's gonna be worth it. You feel me? Like whatever happens, it's gonna be worth it. Just gotta keep going. Yeah, but that's just kind of general stuff, I guess. But like I said, if you made it to the end of the video, like it, share it out. Also, bro, I got my Instagram. I got a brand new Instagram account, bro. Make sure to follow it, bro. It's Zaire Doyle. It's in the comments, right? If you need any help, any questions, literally anything, bro, just follow and DM me, bro. I don't care what it is, bro. You want to say, oh, how's your day, bro? I don't care, bro. Hit me on Instagram, bro. It's in the description. Hit me up. Like I said, I really appreciate you guys if you guys did actually come this far. Yeah, bro. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.